Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining. I'm going to start this off by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. We're going to jump right into this. As you can see here, I have it pulled up on the screen. SEC will not prohibit payment for order flow. So everybody give Robinhood a round of applause for winning and screwing over the little guy once again. These guys have been fined by FINRA, they've been fined by the SEC, and they still somehow keep coming out on top. Chittadell, right? Okay. So, we're just going to read some of this here. The U.S. Securities Exchange Commission, SEC, reportedly will not seek to ban payment for order flow despite earlier indications that the SEC, Gary Gensler, had been inclined to issue such a prohibition. Notable winner is, first place, Robinhood. Okay, so that brought their stock up to $11.07, and then quickly came down to $9.94. And I hope that this gets shorted into the ground, 100%. I hope they go bankrupt. They have done nothing but destroy people's portfolios. The SEC is not going to ban payment for order flow at this time, according to the report from Bloomberg. Representatives for this win is, broker Robinhood. Now, you can go to Investopedia and read all this, but there's some important things here. Brokers are supposed to inform their clients of any compensation that they receive for routing orders for market makers. Chittadell. Okay, they're supposed to inform you that they're taking payments for this stuff. Okay. Your market makers are the ones that are deciding what the price of our stock is going to be. Okay, so they get to pay these brokers for a better fill, and then they get to determine our price. That's just the way it is. You take this on top of the other BS that we have to deal with, being the small retail people that we are, and not being able to day trade without having $25,000 in your account. There's not one person that can convince me that the SEC is here for the retail investor. You just can't at this point. They allow trash like this to happen. They don't do anything about it. They allow the buy button to be taken away. They don't do anything about it. Well, what, they got a fine? That doesn't matter. Hasn't changed anything. The SEC has fined Robinhood, FINRA. None of that seems to actually matter. These companies have too much money, and it's your money. That's the sad part of this. They're using your money to take more money from you. That's just the way it is. Now, with that said, I can't sit here and say that there's not a way for retail to do this, and as a matter of fact, it gave me a lot more drive and a lot more passion to continue on my journey. There's definitely ways to make money. You just have to know what to look for. You have to know your limits. Okay? By knowing your limits, I mean you need to know what your risk tolerance is, how much of a loss you're willing to take on each trade, and what your exit plan is for your gains. There's absolutely nothing wrong with taking gains on the way up. There's nothing wrong with it at all. So keep that in mind as the days go. Another thing that needs to be touched on is if we close red tomorrow, that'll be for the last 6 weeks, only one of those days, or only one of those weeks, was a green week. Going into next week, you need to understand that there is a possibility of a government shutdown. A lot of people aren't talking about it because, Donald Trump or Hunter Biden. Doesn't really matter. But it hasn't been spoken about much. If the government shuts down, I guarantee that everything that follows for the next week following will also be red. I shouldn't say I guarantee, we never know. But you need to plan for it. So, from the time you watch this video to next Friday, you need to set yourself up in a way that you can win. You buy your options, you buy your puts, you buy your calls, you buy your shares, you hold them, and you wait for a better opportunity. But make sure, whatever you do, you have a plan. If that means you plan to buy puts on the SPY and you want 30% gains, you get out at your 30 or your 35 or your 40. Start taking some off the table. And if you buy puts on the SPY and you want 30% gains, but you end up doing a 15% loss, that goes into your risk tolerance. How much of that are you willing to lose? Make sure you have an exit plan for every trade. I'm going to leave that with you guys for tonight. I will be live Friday, tomorrow, the 23rd, and all of next week. So if you want to stop in and say hello, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, if you could drop a like on this video here, give me some feedback, I'd also really appreciate that. Until the next one comes out, I hope you guys can wake up green, and I hope that you can stay green. I'll be back Friday night with another short video. Until then, I appreciate you showing up, and peace.